العقل تسامى بالفكر والوعي شعار للعمر بغد نحكيه ليحكينا يا كون اسمعنا واصطبري إن رحب الفكر تسامينا وسمت في الأفق مساعينا بالعلم سترقى أمتنا ونجوب الدنيا داعينا.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear students, today we are going to study if clause type 1 or what we call also conditional sentence type 1 الجملة الشرطية الأولى. The main objectives for today's lesson is to recognize the functions وظائف أو استخدامات if clause type 1 and number 2 to form complete sentences using if clause type 1 أن نشكل جملة كاملة باستخدام هذه القاعدة. As you can see in this slide, we have a sentence or 4 sentences divided into 2 parts. The first part is something we call if clause and the second part is something we call main clause. These sentences in this slide, we need to combine these sentences together according to the meaning, of course. If I eat too much, if I have enough time in this evening, and number 3, if I study hard, number 4, if I don't understand something, what will happen as a result for these conditions? The first one, if I eat too much, let's think about it. I'll give you some time. Okay. Yes, I will get fat. Number 2, if I have enough time this evening, I will watch the match. Number 3, if I study hard, I will get full marks. Number 4, if I don't understand something, okay, I will ask the teacher. You can notice here, dear students, that after the if clause, after these parts of the sentences, of the four sentences, you can see that we used a comma between the if clause and the main clause. The only way to not to write the comma is to start with the main clause. Let's continue. Now let's see what is the function الاستخدام الوظيفة for the conditional sentence type 1. We use conditional sentences type 1 to talk about something that is likely to happen مرجح حصوله in the present or in the future. Let's see. 1. If it's sunny, I will go for a picnic. If you cook the dinner, I will wash the dishes. If Susan leaves Hong Kong, Peter will be sad. All 3 sentences are to talk about what is likely to happen in the future. What about the present? Let's see. First of all, let's see this table, which is going to explain more the parts of the sentences if I'm going to talk about what is likely to happen in the future. If the clause will use the simple present tense as a rule. And this is clear because we used it here and we used you. And when we used it, we added s to the verb rain. But when we used you, we didn't add anything. But when we are talking about what is likely to happen in the future, we used will with the base form of the verb will stay and will have. So this is when we talk about something that is likely to happen in the future. You can find this exercise in your student's book, page number 69. Here we have 2 sentences. If we don't plant trees, there will be no oxygen in 50 years. And notice this keyword, 50 years. If you need anything, I can help you now, and please be aware to the word now. For something that is likely to happen in the present and for something that is likely to happen in the future, we need to match the sentences with the usages. Let's see. For something that is likely to happen in the present, And for something that is likely to happen in the future we will use the sentence number 1, because as you can see, we have this keyword 50 years, and also we used will. But for something that is likely to happen in the present, you can see that this sentence is talking about what something that is likely to happen in the present, because we use the keyword now. And also in both sentences, the second part used the base form of the verb, because after will and can, we will use the base form of the verb without changing anything or adding anything to the verb. Now, you can use, by the way, also when you are talking about the present, you can use also imperatives. Look, I'm free. I will go to the recycling day event. If Saleh wants to help, he can take part in the beach cleanup. The first one, what is likely to happen in the future? The second one, what is likely to happen in the present? If you don't need the box, recycle it now. Recycle it now. Imperative. If you finish your homework early, will you come to the park with me? In this case, we use the question type of will, the interrogative type. Okay, now the form of the sentence. What is missing in the form of the sentence in this part? Before the present simple, what should we write? Sorry, F. With the future modal verbs, which is will. And also here we use may, might, must, imperatives. What is missing? Can. Very good. Now, as a closure, dear students, I want you to write as an exercise, a homework. I want you to write 5 sentences using the conditional type 1 in your notebook and examine yourself, or let's say test yourself and test your understanding for the conditional type 1. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.